You mentioned the macronutrients and that being related to the sacral chakra. What are the other macronutrients that are attached to the other chakras?
Sure. So you've got three macronutrients. You've got the trio of protein, fat, and carbohydrate.
Okay.
And protein is associated with the root chakra. And if you look at, what makes us feel grounded and centered and gives us our structure, it's really protein. Protein makes up our skin. It's integrated it's throughout our whole body. It makes up our tissues, our organs. It gives us structure. And also the sense of protection and a sense of boundaries too. That's why we have that structure. That skin layer is to protect our body.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely protein for the root chakra. And so if you're feeling kind of spacey and ungrounded and dreamy and not in your body, one of the best things to do is really to have protein.
Mm.
The second one, as I mentioned, the sacral chakra is connected to fats and oils. And just one last thing to say about that is, again, if we're not flowing and we're not expressing and we're not creating and we're not emoting, what happens is that we get a lot of congestion in the low belly. And oftentimes what can happen is that can manifest in terms of a symptom. Because remember, again, that each cell in our body has memory, and what we're not expressing and releasing, we're storing within. And so what I find a lot of times is for people that aren't expressing their emotions, they're lodging them within the low belly, and they're getting things like irritable bowel syndrome or IBS or inflammatory bowel disease, which is things like ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease. Things where, basically our gut is trying to process, but we're storing things inside rather than releasing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third macronutrient is the what we've already talked about as well, which is the solar plexus chakra, which is connected to fire and burning and transformation, quick energy, sustained energy, which is carbohydrates. So those are really the three building blocks which make up our lower body and give us kind of that bulk sustenance.
Excellent.
And then the upper chakras are a little bit less related in terms of the macronutrients.
Now, you talked about the ebb and flow of your metabolism throughout a day or a daily cycle, and you talked about fast sugars and whatnot. But I'm thinking about the flow of a lifetime, and I have a question online here. What are your nutritional recommendations for perimenopausal women? So are there lifetime flows as well?
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. We definitely, just, day to day, minute to minute, our energy is changing. And you can imagine that throughout a life cycle, we're going to see even larger patterns of flux and changes in our physical body, as well as all of our other bodies, our emotional body, our mental body, and our spiritual body. And during the time of perimenopause, we're really going through a lot of hormonal shifts, a lot of changes, especially with the chakras, changes within that sacral chakra, which for women houses the ovaries. And so the ovaries are really changing in perimenopause. That levels of estrogen and progesterone, the two main hormones for women, are starting to decline and change. And that's signaling back to the hypothalamus up in the third eye chakra area. And so, there's this whole web and flux of change in the body. And so foods can definitely help us through that process. And some of the foods that are very helpful are the ones that have very weak plant estrogens contained within them.
Hi there, my name is Nina Wallinder, and I wanted to talk to you about Layers of Health. Layers of Health is a free online community dedicated to investigating holistic and alternative health options. These options can include physical health, mental and emotional health, business health, as well as your spiritual health. So you can join me as I discuss your health concerns with various experts, mentors, and leaders in their fields. And these interviews are offered for free live, as well as during special encore presentations. But if you find one that is particularly interesting to you, you can also purchase it. So you can join me at www.layersofhealth.com, and I'll see you on the calls.